Okay, dear students, good morning. Please sit down. First of all, yesterday I have given you some assignment. I have given you some assignment. I have given you the assignment to follow some reading method, and this reading method should strictly be followed. Actually, my students, this is the part of my basic foundation program, how to read, how to write, and how to do precise writing. So let us start first with how to read. Yesterday I have given you some assignment, but some of you appear to be absent. Yesterday, have you attended this class? Where is your assignment? Okay, and even you are having, all of you are having, I think you are having the assignment. You? Yes. Okay. What about online? I have given the suggestion to sit in offline so that I can do work. My students, according to the strategy rules, I have told you, according to the rules, first of all, underline the central idea. Because you were absent since last 2 days. Yeah? Why have you been absent? Yeah? Why have you been late? Are you not familiar with the date of the beginning for the classes? Are you aware? Then why have you been late? Every day is important for you. Even today I will provide you the assignment, but you will hardly be benefited because give the assignment, because this assignment needs brainstorming first, and within the limited time you cannot do brainstorming. Here you can say, go through the passage. What's your thesis? Have you formulated the thesis? Have you formulated the thesis? The rules of writing. In rules of writing, in the last one, I have mentioned about the thesis. But you should not get disheartened. It is for the sake of convenience, I have suggested you that thesis should be placed in the last. Okay. Just Siddhas, put it off. So, it is for your convenience, but thesis should be normally written in the beginning. I have told you, you can start with the central idea, then sometimes subsidiary idea is there or examples is there. You have to be particular about central idea, not subsidiary idea. Even if you are having the examples, you can go through it. The first of all, I have preferred a title. What is the title? Just will you people share some ideas or should I start? मतलब आप लोगों ने भी कुछ ट्राई करना चाहेंगे जो आपने अपने स्केल से किया है, या मैं स्टार्ट हो जाऊं? आज मैं बता. ओके, तो टाइटल इज, माय टाइटल इज, जस्ट राइट डाउन, कि एग्रीकल्चरल डिक्लाइन. जस्ट सिट डाउन. Have you gone through the passage yesterday? No. Okay. Sivdas, give that. Have you received the passage today? Okay. Actually, the basic foundation program is having two parts. The first part is to enable you how to read, how to write, and how to do precise writing. That is the one program. Second one program is you should be given the knowledge about the basic history, basic polity, basic economy, basic geography, ecology, environment, science tech, etc., etc. and it was in course of making the basic study, you are supposed to develop some integrated approach. So this is my suggestion. That's why I have just told you. So now let us start here. Agricultural decline as main factor for peasants' poverty. Agriculture decline as main factor for peasants' poverty. Main factor for peasants' poverty. Have you done some work on reading passage? So today, these people have suggested me. I myself have taken initiative, because once you will observe 1 and 2 answers, so after observing 1 and 2 answers, then you people will try, and gradually in course of study, what is important in a passage. Acha, please give me the suggestion whether should I start from the main ideas and give the thesis in the last, or should I start from the thesis, because I can write the thesis even in the beginning. Pehle main ideas. So you might have gone through the passage, you may find that there are the 2 parts. This passage is in 2 parts. In the first part, under the British rule, and the second part, in post-independence era, the condition of peasants. So under the British rule, you can say. So as the main idea, just write down main ideas. Nay, please reserve some place for thesis, which you have to write in the last. Reserve some place in thesis. जैसे पेज में आप स्टार्ट कर रहे हो ना, तो बिगनिंग का थोड़ा सा स्पेस छोड़ दो, जो लास्ट में हम लोग उसमें थेसिस लिखेंगे. थेसिस तो ऊपर में लिखा जाएगा ना. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड माय पॉइंट? थेसिस से ही चालू कर. पहले स्टार्ट विद द थेसिस. अच्छा ठीक हो, गो ऑन with thesis. Just write down. In Indian agriculture, in India, agriculture has remained to be. In India, agriculture has remained to be the principal source of income. Principal source of income remain to be the principal source of income for peasants from British era till today. British era till today, but peasants remain to be the peasants not remain to be, just cut it. The peasants suffered from poverty. Peasants suffered from poverty under the British rule. Under the British rule, and also and British rule, and even after independence, not also, and even after independence, please read the thesis. Thesis should be precise. जैसे तुम्हारा पूरा पैसेज है ना, उस पैसेज का बेसिक एसेंस थेसिस में होना चाहिए। अब इसी का अगर हम डिटेलिंग्स करते, इन कोर्स ऑफ डूइंग डिटेलिंग you people have, matlab, then this could have been even in precis writing you have to do the same thing. Thesis, whenever you are starting the sentence or starting a passage or starting a topic, so in the topic, in the beginning, there should be the basic essence of the topic. Ab dekho, this is the basic essence. What is the principal source of income for peasants during the British era till today? Because not alternative source of income. Even today you find not alternative employment. Okay, not other source of income. You might have gone through. Especially, and this has been the main STN main cause for the poverty. Because even post-independence era, you will just notice 2 and 3 failures. Partial failure on the form of redistribution of land, partial failure on the front of redistribution of land. Okay. Then wage earners were owning a small farm. Due to the logistic support, they cannot improve agriculture. Third, they are not having alternative source of income, no employment, alternative employment. The 3 factors, and that's why they fell into the debt trap, finally resulting into peasant suicide. Under the British rule, the main concern was famine, death. During the post-independence era or present era, the peasant suicide is the matter of concern. At that time, the concern was famine, growing incidence of famine, and millions of people perished away due to the impact of famine. But in present situation, there is not famine, because in post-independence era, although it has not been mentioned here, but reality is in post-independence era, you will not find even a single incidence of famine in India. Because famine is not allowed under a democracy. Otherwise, the government would immediately fall down. But peasant suicide is the present reality. So the peasant remain to be sufferer during all the eras, you know. तो दिस इज द थेसिस. थेसिस में हम इतनी बातें नहीं लिख सकते. थेसिस में उसको हमको बेसिक सार और एसेंस देना चाहिए. अब लिखो मेन आइडियाज. मेन आइडियाज. During the British rule, peasants were victimized due to British land revenue and trade policy. British land revenue and trade policy. Land revenue and trade policy. Trade policy. This is the main idea. Why land revenue? You might have read here in the passage कि as land revenue was fixed at exorbitant rate, so there emerged some intermediaries like merchants and money lenders who came to own the land. Why? Actually, they have written here precisely because they have not made any sort of detailing of what actually happened. The actual situation was that as peasants failed to pay up the amount of land revenue, so their land was auctioned and purchasers were merchants and money lenders. So there was the advent of different sorts of intermediaries. Here precisely I have mentioned here that under the British rule the peasants were victimized due to land revenue policy, means that the heavy burden of land revenue, and trade policy, because later you will come to realize that India was actually, the British consciously imported manufactured goods in India, and India became the supplier of food grains. It was the faulty trade policy, and this was a major, you can say, exploitation on the part of the British to Indian peasantry. Third one, the British, you can say the British plundered the Indian goods. So as the British plundered the Indian goods, so these three factors resulted into growing incidence of famine death. An ultimate Indian reaction in the Great Revolt of 1857. The regional leaders revolted against the British, you might have found them. So, this is the, you can say, main idea. Up here you can say every main idea. You are mentioning about the main idea. So every main idea should be supported either by subsidiary idea or example. So we have not to be concerned about subsidiary idea, but even example is enough to prove it. So once you are going to mention the main idea, you have to be carefree. It hardly matters. Do you understand my point or not? Once you have mentioned the main idea, then simply try to give support to main idea, either through subsidiary ideas or examples. It is very difficult to make a distinction between subsidiary ideas and examples. Are you having the passage? You? Presently or yesterday? Oh, yesterday you were not. Oh, and you? Are you having the passage? Okay. Right. So, okay. Then give the heading after every main idea, subsidiary idea or example. Subsidiary idea or example. Give dash and give first dot. First dot or first point, and a first subsidiary idea or first example. First subsidiary idea or first example. The rate of land revenue the rate of land revenue was consciously kept higher matlab here the point is ki the land revenue was fixed at very exorbitant rate, consciously. The rate of land revenue was fixed, kept higher. That's why ki peasants failed to pay up peasants failed to pay up the amount leading up to the rise of intermediaries like merchants and moneylenders. Intermediaries like merchants and moneylenders. Second one point. Grains were continuously exported. Grains were consciously exported by the British government from India These are the either examples or subsidiary ideas. Then second main idea. मेरे स्कीम पहले दिन समझने में दिक्कत हुई. जैसे देखो, एक मेन आइडिया को सपोर्ट इमीडिएटली तुमको एग्जांपल से देना पड़ेगा या सब्सिडियरी आइडियाज. When you are supposed to give support, you are supposed to give support to main ideas either through example or subsidiary idea. So I have mentioned about the first main idea, and then I have given support from two examples or subsidiary ideas. Then second main idea. Give dash and write down. The British mercilessly plundered Indian the natural resources of India. Plundered the natural resources of India. The British mercilessly plundered the natural resources of India. Resources of India. British resources of India. Give heading example and give dash. Example. India was used as market for British exports. Market for British exports. Market for British exports. Exports. And also it was liable to pay debts to Britain, pay the amount of debts मतलब ऋण, कर्ज, amount of debts to Britain, and also to provide the soldiers. Provide to soldiers. Actually, study in basic foundation class, this is how to read. So you are not having the passage. Sivdas, notice and give them the passage. तो दूसरा लेके आओ. Yes, passage. अब that's over. Now with the change of paragraph, once again main idea. Once again main idea. Main idea. In post-independence era, the government in post-independence era, the government became partial failure. In redistribution of land. Became partial failure in redistribution of land. In redistribution of land. Redistribution of land. This is the main idea. Give the heading subsidiary idea or example. Subsidiary idea or example. Subsidiary idea or example. Give dash and write down. The wage earners could acquire a very small farmland, which they could not develop due to the lack of resources. क्या lack of resources. Here the second one example. Fragmentation of land created another challenge. Once again write main idea. Then just write down. In post-independence era, In post-independence era, the per the per, lower per head availability of land is one of the reasons behind rural poverty. Then give another dot for main idea. There is the lack of alternative main idea. There is the lack of alternative source of employment for peasants. Then just write down the last one. Due to the factors above, millions of peasants perished away had perished away. Better to write had perished away. Due to growing incidence of famine under the British rule. And presently peasant suicide has emerged to be a burning issue. Peasant suicide has emerged to be a burning issue. Yeah. Peasant suicide has emerged to be a burning issue. That's all. तो देखो इसमें क्या है कि तुमको दो चीजों पर कॉन्शियस रहना हो, एक थेसिस और एक मेन आइडिया पर. बाकी सब्सिडियरी आइडिया और एग्जाम्पल्स जितना चाहो इंसर्ट कर लो. तो अगर इस तरह से पैराफ्रेजिंग तुम्हारे दिमाग में पढ़ने के क्रम में हो गया तो उतने पॉइंट्स तुमको हमेशा याद रहेंगे जो तुम लिख सकते हो. या तुम अगर कोई भी एनसीईआरटी बुक्स पढ़ते हो या यू आर गोइंग थ्रू द न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल्स, तो इनिशियली यू विल फाइंड डिफिकल्टी. इट इज डेफिनेटली a very difficult sort of practice work, but I assure you once you will develop the habit up today, even if actually I am having maximum 45 minutes to 1 hour and I used to consult at least 4 newspapers, although I am going through 6 newspapers because I have to find out some articles for providing to the students, you know. Even I will provide you certain articles to you on daily basis, 1 and 2 article. For example, if you are consulting Hindu newspaper, So in the editorial in the left side, on the, you can say, Muslim, the law for Muslim women and the recent verdict of Supreme Court, that point is important for you. And in the page number 10, in the EV sector, India was earlier tempting the other players from outside to come into the Indian market, but India is planning now some another. Actually, I have not gone through the article so far. I have simply given a cursory look. So now India is planning ki in EV sector, India should itself take initiative. Itself to take initiative. So that is a trend setter. So these two articles can be important for you for today's Hindu newspaper, not more than that, because newspaper is full of articles and no one can do justice to so many articles, you know. So on daily basis, I will send you the articles, at least minimum number of articles you are supposed to go through. In Indian Express, in the central part, you will find there was an article by some women scholar, how the present law on the, you can say, Supreme Court verdict will open the further questions for the upliftment of Muslim women. So this article is more inclusive. So you can go through this article, that is useful for you. And apart from that, in the page number 3, India-Austria relationship, because Prime Minister Modi has visited Austria, and in the last of the article, this now you can say ISRO or Indian Space Center is now venturing in the space defense. From the viewpoint of security, this is the important article, 3 articles in Indian Express. So on daily basis, have you joined the group? Are you in the group? So possibly from today onwards, I will start to send you the article. You can go through it. Apart from that, on weekly basis, the institute will organize some, you know, current class. But I think there is no substitute for going through some articles by students themselves, in spite of the fact that you are attending that class. बट हम करंट का क्लास थोड़ा सा अरेंज करेंगे जब थोड़ा तुम लोगों का प्रोग्रेस हो जाएगा, थोड़ा तुम लाइन पर आ जाओगे. अभी तुम लोग बहुत बिगिनिंग में, अभी न्यूज़पेपर वगैरह पढ़ना सिखाता हूँ, बेसिक फाउंडेशन. एडवांस फाउंडेशन में थोड़ा ज़्यादा काम, उसमें काम ज़्यादा है, और तुम लोगों को बेसिक में तो हंसते खेलते हो जाए, पूरे सिलेबस को कवर कर. So I think tomorrow I'll just impart you certain formula about writing. कि कैसे राइटिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं, हाउ टू स्टार्ट द राइटिंग, हाउ टू कैच अप द सेंट्रल आइडिया और थेसिस. The same formula is followed in writing as well. But what is the difference between the reading of a good passage and writing a good piece of literature? The common point is always follow the same formula: thesis, ideas to support the thesis, examples to support the ideas. The simple formula. जैसे हमने अभी किया है वो ना, हाँ, तो उसमें क्या करेंगे हम लोग, थेसिस और मेन आइडियाज को रखेंगे और बाकी एग्जांपल्स को उड़ा देंगे. अभी तो मैंने पैराफ्रेजिंग किया है ना इसको. जब हाउ टू डू द प्रिसाइज राइटिंग मैं आप लोगों को सिखाऊंगा, व्हेनेवर आई विल टीच यू द मेथड ऑफ हाउ टू डू प्रिसाइज राइटिंग, सो ऑटोमेटिकली दैट विल बी इन द 1/3. नंबर 1. नंबर 2 कि सपोज आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द क्लास ऑफ वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री पार्ट. Okay, so in course of every chapter, today I have given you assignment, you are supposed to go through the 5 chapters. You were told to go through 5 pages. So today I will discuss about the pages and then I will give you the dictation in the same manner. In whatever is the one page, I will just make you write in 1 and 2 paragraphs. So even there you can do the practice कि how it can be written precisely. अभी मैं प्रिसाइजली नहीं लिखवा रहा था, अभी मैं उसका पैराफ्रेजिंग कर रहा था कि इसका पार्ट मैंने ऑपरेशन कर रहा था कि इसमें ये पार्ट है, इसको रिकॉग्नाइज करो. कौन सा? वही थेसिस ही में हुआ ना. जैसे इसका जो मेन पिलर है वो थेसिस है जो पूरे को बाइंड कर रहा है. हेडलाइंस तो हमने दिया ना, हेडलाइन तुम लोगों को दिया है ना. एग्रीकल्चर डिक्लाइन एज द मेन सोर्स फॉर पेजेंट्स पॉवर्टी. Let us cover 4 to 5, up to 5 to 6. You will be in a better condition. धीरे धीरे सीखना शुरू करोगे. पहला था ना, so later you are going to improve gradually. अब now come to the point. World history. Have you gone through 5 pages? All are having the book of basic foundation, this one. So take the books today. Don't buy the time. This is the best program. There is no question of hesitation. Now you are just writing the world history part. My friends, yeah. Are you not enrolled? So how you will get the book? So after the class, you have to make a consultation with the office. Okay. Up here, you know, in the world history part, you are supposed to have some knowledge from 18th century onwards. But you will directly move from 18th century onwards in the process of nation building. So that will definitely make you confused. And you will not develop the natural instinct into the topic. So better to be familiar with the ancient world first. Whenever there is the question of the ancient world, from when did the human civilization start? In fact, human beings started their journey from Stone Age. They were using the stone tools. This Stone Age had continued for lakhs and lakhs of years. From 5 lakh years onwards, there started Paleolithic phase. That is called the Old Stone Age. The human beings were using the very blunted and very, you can say, unfinished tools. This period is marked by the poor growth of human activities on this earth. But from 10,000 BC onwards, which is identified as the Mesolithic era, the human beings started to use the more sophisticated tools, that is called microliths. There was invention of bows and arrows, and the human beings can, you can say, increase the amount of food through even targeting the birds and animals with the support of bows and arrows. And even the fishing activity started during this period. But from Neolithic period onwards, which is supposed to have started from nearly 9,000 BC in West Asia, the human beings for the first time came from food gathering to food hunting and food gathering to food producing stage, means the domestication of animals and agriculture started. That is a great success, you know. Then agriculture started to give surplus production. Once the agriculture started to give surplus production, so that brings a lot of changes in society, because once the surplus production starts, it leads to the division of labor. For example, you can say 100 people are just involved into cultivation. So the grain requirement of 100 people is being fulfilled. But suppose if 50 persons are doing cultivation and the grain requirement of 100 persons are being fulfilled, it means that the 50 persons who are getting free from agriculture, they can involve themselves into other sorts of occupation. For example, crafts, for example, industry, for example, trade, for example, priesthood. For example, they can join the ruling class. So in this way, the division of labor started, and there was the rise of chiefdom. Then as the first metal, there started the use of copper. So in history, that is known as Chalcolithic period. And to use of copper means ki more and better production in the field of agriculture and in other fields like crafts, trade, all grew or developed. So there emerged some important and earliest civilizations in the world. You might have heard about some names like like Egyptian civilization in Northeast Africa, Mesopotamian civilization in West Asia, and Harappan civilization in India. So this was in Chalcolithic period, although they developed the bronze through mixing copper with tin, but this Bronze Age is also falling under the same Chalcolithic age. Then the use of iron started from 1000 BC onwards, and the use of iron became a trend changer. Why? Because the iron was available in abundance and it was the very strong metal. So very strong metal, iron, so that is very important item. So once the use of iron started, so now iron can be applied even in making weapons as well as making agrarian tools. So it brought major change in production. So there was the rise of certain empires in the world. For example, the first major empire was Persian Empire or Achaemenid Empire in West Asia. Then you can say Alexander's Empire in West Asia and Eastern Europe, and the Roman Empire in Europe, Maurya and Kushana Empire in India, and Han Empire in China. So in this way, the changes were going on. Okay. And my friends, here I have to inform you, it was the time some important religion of the world emerged. For example, in West Asia, there was the rise of Judaism. Judaism means you know as Yahudibad. Yahudi का नाम सुना होगा. तो Abraham was the prophet of Jews, and Abraham laid the foundation of a new sect that is called Judaism. और जो Judaism है, यहूदीवाद है, वह वेस्ट में पहला मोनोलिथिक रिलीजन था. कहोगे मोनोलिथिक क्या होता है? तो मोनोलिथिक का मतलब होता है एक ईश्वर. मोनोलिथिस जो है वो एक ईश्वर में विश्वास करता है, एक गॉड में, माने and formless God, one God and formless God. But my friends, in formless God, there is the one scope. If you are emphasizing over formless God, so there is the better scope for religious reforms, because it means कि now polytheism as well as the idol worship are not allowed. Okay, so in this way you can say कि some sort of religious reforms. But unfortunately, the Jews were living in Palestine region, and Palestine region fell under the control of the so-called Roman Empire. And Roman Empire was having the different religious perception. They believed in, the Roman Empire believed in idol worship, and particularly the idol of the king was being worshipped. जैसे रोमन साम्राज्य जो होता था उसमें मूर्ति पूजा होती थी, और खासकर जो किंग की मूर्ति थी उसकी पूजा करवाते थे. और पैलेस्टाइन लोग चूंकि आइडल वर्शिप को क्रिटिसाइज करते थे, तो रोमन एम्पायर ने पैलेस्टाइन लोगों को काफी परजिक्यूट किया, मतलब उनको काफी परेशान किया. उनको एक बेसिकली कह सकते हो कि उन्होंने उनको परजिक्यूट, मतलब परजिक्यूट करना समझते हो ना, मतलब एक्सप्लॉइट किया. दे वर एक्सप्लॉइटेड, actually this part has been over. How to read? Okay, actually you have been late. मतलब ये मतलब this one I have just given to you. So this part has been over. You will make consultation with me after the class. Okay. तो इस तरह से चेंजेस तुम लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा, तो ये तो एंशिएंट वर्ल्ड में पता। उसके बाद जस्ट आफ्टर जुडाइज्म, you know, there started Christianity. And do you know, even Jesus Christ was himself from the you can say a Jew stock, and he was born at Bethlehem. He was born at Bethlehem in Jerusalem, and he started to propagate a new religion from, you can say, he was born in early Christian century, means ki although the Jesus Christ was born at the 4th year of this Christian century, 4th year, but zero, there is the, his birth is supposed to be the 0 year, and at the age of 30 he started to propagate his religion, and he was also linked to the same Abrahamic tradition, because he was also propagating the monolithic God and formless God. So now the Roman Empire was irritated and he punished him, he assassinated him, means he was crucified. तो इस तरह से क्रिश्चियनिटी का हुआ। बाद में क्रिश्चियनिटी को रोमन एम्पायर ने अपना रिलीजन बना लिया। ये जो चेंजेज होता आ रहा है, तो एंशिएंट टाइम में यही कुछ एक मेजर चेंजेज है, बिकॉज इंडिया का बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म जानते ही हो, ये इससे ज्यादा तुमको जानने की जरूरत नहीं। द मेन चैलेंज इज कि एक्चुअली देयर वाज द रोमन एम्पायर। ओके, सो this was Roman Empire, and Roman Empire was formidable in size. So as the Roman Empire was formidable in size, so it was divided in Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. But in the north of Western Roman Empire, there were settled some German tribes. So they consistently invaded on Western Roman Empire. So this Western Roman Empire disintegrated, and after disintegration of Western Roman Empire, you know, there emerged feudalism in Europe. Now you can be a bit curious कि what is feudalism, so I have to make you clear. अब suppose this was the Roman Empire earlier. My point is, नहीं, रोमन एम्पायर तो जिस समय जुडाइज्म फ्लोरिश किया था, उस समय तो पावरफुल था ही। तुमको ये पता होना चाहिए कि जुडाइज्म जो फ्लोरिश किया था वो क्रिश्चियन सेंचुरी से पहले फ्लोरिश किया था, मतलब 6-7 सेंचुरी बीसी, एंड क्रिश्चियनिटी भी 1st सेंचुरी में आया था। और जो रोमन एम्पायर डिसइंटीग्रेटेड किया है वो 5th सेंचुरी सी में किया है। यानी बीसी और सी का फर्क समझते हो आप लोग? बिफोर क्राइस्ट एंड कॉमन एरा, डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? मैंने बीसी समझते हो? बीसी और एडी तुम लोग समझते हो? जस्ट इन द लास्ट टाइम आस्किंग यू, तो कुछ पूछो ना, पीछ कुछ इंटरैक्ट करो, कुछ सवाल करो, तभी तो समझ में आएगा ना। सिर्फ बैठे रहोगे वैसे तो थोड़ा समझ में आएगा। इंटरैक्ट विथ मी, कुछ सवाल करो। तुमसे नहीं पूछा हूं, तुमसे सबसे पीछे वाले बेंच पर, मतलब यू हैव टू आस्क मी द क्वेश्चन। बीसी समझते हो? कुछ नहीं तो कुछ तो बोलो ना आखिर, नहीं तो वैसे तो टॉर्चरस हो जाएगा क्लास। न मटेरियल पढ़े हुए हो न कुछ, तो उसमें दिक्कत हो जाएगी ना। इसमें मेरा एक स्कीम क्या है, जैसे 5 पेजेस हमने पढ़ के आने के लिए कहा, वो 5 पेजेस तुम पढ़ के नहीं आओगे तो नेचुरली तुम डिसएडवांटेजेस पोजीशन में रहोगे, और तब तुम समझोगे मैं नहीं समझ पा रहा। तो नेचुरली तुमने, अगर तुम्हारी जगह मैं भी रहूंगा तो नहीं समझूंगा, मैं पहले से उसके लिए प्रिपेयर्ड ही नहीं हूं। तो उसके लिए एक कुछ फॉर्मेलिटी होती है, उसको पहले पढ़ के आना पड़ता है, क्लास को सीरियसली अटेंड। वैसे कहीं पर जाके बैठोगे, कुछ चीजें चल रही है, तो कैसे तुम उससे लिंक होगे? लिंक होने के लिए भी तो एक फॉर्मेलिटी होती है ना। तो ये मैं कह रहा हूं कि ये साइंटिफिक मेथड नहीं है, इससे तुमको ये नहीं तुम जज कर पाओगे कि हम समझ पा रहे हैं कि नहीं, और तुम अपने आप को अंडरस्टिमेट करोगे मैं नहीं समझ पा रहा हूँ, लेकिन तुम्हारी जगह मैं भी रहूं तो नहीं समझू। बिकॉज अर्लियर थोड़ा तो पढ़ के आना चाहिए ना, जैसे 5 पेजेस है तो पढ़ के आना चाहिए। जैसे देखो, once again I am making clear, जैसे Jesus Christ was born in the year, so in India in ancient period we are having the calculation of time in circular way. त्रेता द्वापर सतयुग कलयुग, त्रेता द्वापर सतयुग कलयुग, त्रेता द्वापर सतयुग कलयुग. Our cycle of time was moving gradually from here to there, and we are returning again to time. So we are making the circular calculation in Indian context. But it was in Western context that there was not circular calculation. There was linear calculation, linear. The birth of Jesus Christ was treated as the base year, and the birth of Jesus Christ was taken as a big zero. And if you are moving after Jesus Christ, so it was earlier called AD, Anno Domini. And suppose some incident has taken place before Jesus Christ, it was called BC, before Christ. Now suppose you can say here Jesus Christ the birth is 0. So AD is plus. AD is plus means कि अब suppose you can say 500 AD, 1000 AD, 2000 AD. So this is going in, a linear way and progressive way. The 500 to 1000 AD means 500 years, 1000 AD to 2000 AD 1000 years. But in course of BC, it was going in reverse direction as if the minus digits. Jaise here you can use minus digits, for example 2000 BC, okay, then 1000 BC, then 500 BC. Here 500 BC is the smallest one, and here the 500 AD is the smallest one, but 500 BC is the largest one. In what way? You are just calculating in reverse direction. 2000 BC is the earliest, because you are just going from the minus. For example, minus 10 and minus 5. Minus 10 and minus 5, which is larger? Minus 5. The same happens here. 2000 BC occurred मतलब before Christ, माने Christ के जन्म से 2000 वर्ष पहले. तो पहले हुआ 1000 वर्ष पहले, मतलब है कि 2000 वर्ष के 1000 वर्ष बाद. So reverse calculation 2000 BC to 1000 BC, and then once again you are going to calculate 1000 BC to 500 BC means ki 500 years. So this is going in the reverse direction. But after some time, or you can say recently, now this view has been challenged. And who challenged the view? The people from other sects. They started to challenge the view. It is not fair. This is Eurocentric view. Jesus Christ is in the center of calculation. We are the Muslims. We are Hindus. We are, Zoroastrians. Why we are going to calculate the time period while making the Jesus Christ as the pillar? Why not pillar as the Prophet Muhammad? Because the Muslims will make the claim ki better to calculate through Hijri era then. So as a solution, the name of Christ was because Anno Domini. Anno Domini was also pertaining to Christ, AD, and BC means before Christ. So now in the new light, now this term with Christ has been changed now, and now that there is the use of new term BCE, before common era, and CE, common era. But calculation is the same. Are you clear? So in this way the things are going. So Roman Empire declined in the end of 500 AD. Jesus Christ was born in 0 year, and Judaism occurred in BC. Okay. And why did Roman Empire disintegrated? Here I have informed you, it is due to the fact that this was the German tribe. They were the warmongering and they had been invading Western Roman Empire, because Eastern Roman Empire was divided. So they were invading on Western Roman Empire continuously. So finally Western Roman Empire disintegrated and there emerged a new model of government that is known as feudalism. Here I have to make you clear what is feudalism. Now suppose you can say this was the Western Roman Empire, okay, and this was German invaders. So German invaders belong to the different tribes, okay. So German invaders belong to the different tribes, so they consistently invaded on the region. So finally Western Roman Empire disintegrated, and then the German invaders which belong to different tribes, so they started to settle in different regions. For example, one tribal chief settled in this region, another tribal chief got settled in this region, another tribal chief in this region, another tribal chief in this region. So actually earlier the Roman Empire used to give protection to peasants, and peasants used to provide the tax to Western Roman Empire. But a problem was that there was the dearth of the monarch. There was no monarchy, no emperor, and peasants felt a sense of insecurity. So it was in this crisis the tribal chief, as a German invaders who came, so they gave guarantee of security and peace to peasants, and peasants became ready to give tax to them. So in this way the tribal chief was established in different regions. So tribal chiefs were just established in different regions, but basic problem was that there was internecine war as well as matrimonial relationship among them. So gradually some hierarchy was created. For example, even in a town and in an area, there are too many dadas, too many bhais. One is the, you can say, pistol holder, one is AK-47 holder. So even some sort of hierarchy is created among dadas and bhaiyas. The same happened in case of the lords, you can say the tribal chiefs also. One became higher lord, another became lower lord, and a post of king was created. The king would remain to be a nominal head, he will not enjoy the actual power, and beneath the king there was the highest lord, feudal lord, that was called lord. Then beneath lord there was baron, it was called baron, and beneath baron there was knight. So some sort of hierarchy was created. Any lord, king, lord, baron, knight. Okay, that is in medieval Europe. Now started medieval Europe. This is feudalism. The different feudal lords were established in different regions in whole of Europe. So this was the one institution, feudalism in Europe. Do you understand feudalism? Why? There is a question from online. Sir, why formless God and monolithic religions are considered as religious reforms? But they are asking you the question, formless God and monolithic religions are considered as religious reforms. Why? मतलब मैंने आपसे सवाल किया कि जब हम मोनोलिथिक गॉड की पूजा करते हैं, जो फॉर्मलेस गॉड होता है, तो वो एक तरह का रिलीजियस रिफॉर्म्स हो जाता है. मतलब तो वही सवाल पूछा गया है मुझसे कि उसको हम रिलीजियस रिफॉर्म्स क्यों कह सकते हैं. तो आप में से कोई इसको रिप्लाई कर पाओगे? क्यों कह सकते हैं? मेरे विचार से तुम लोग एक पॉइंट मिस कर रहे हो, ये मेरे एक पॉइंट को तुम लोगों ने केयर नहीं लिया। नहीं, एक चीज तुम लोगों को पकड़ना है, अच्छा किया he has just raised this question in online so that I can interact with you people. तो आई एम ऑलवेज जस्ट परsuading you कि whenever, देखो ये बेसिक फाउंडेशन का क्लास है, इसमें तुम्हें कुछ भी पूछने में बेसिक फाउंडेशन मैंने इसलिए रखा है कि छोटी छोटी बातें क्लियर हो तुम्हारी। दैट शुड बी जस्ट लाइक एन स्टोरी, यू नो। तो छोटी छोटी बातें तुम्हें तब क्लियर होंगी जब तुम डेयर करोगे पूछने का। ये एडवांस फाउंडेशन नहीं है। एडवांस फाउंडेशन में यूपीएससी के क्वेश्चंस और हर चीज उस तरह का, इसमें बेसिक फाउंडेशन में मुझे मेनली तुमको पढ़ना, सोचना, लिखना, बोलना और सारे सब्जेक्ट्स का फाउंडेशनल नॉलेज सिखाना। आई कैन हेल्प यू इफ यू पीपल विल इंटरैक्ट विथ मी। Thanks to this student, at least he has raised one question, and then I came to realize even you people are not clear about in what way monotheism and formless God are associated with religious reforms. The two important factors which is creating dogmatism in religion are priest class and temple cult, or you can say institutionalized religion, whether it may be temple, church, mosque, monastery, whatever may be. So if you are just worshipping God in the form of an idol, murti, you will place them in the temple, and you need some priest to give oblation to God, to perform rituals for God. So polytheism and idol worship are always followed by temple cult and priesthood. But once you propagate monotheism, it means that God is formless. If God is not having the form, then no idol worship. And no idol worship means no temple cult, no priesthood. Do you understand this point or not? जैसे अगर आप मूर्ति के रूप में गॉड को पूजोगे तो क्या होगा? मूर्ति के रूप में गॉड को पूजोगे तो उनको मंदिर में प्लेस करोगे, एक प्रीस्ट होगा जो उनकी पूजा करेगा, तो कुछ अनुष्ठान तो होगा ना। नहीं, रिफॉर्म आएगा मतलब जैसे अगर मोनोथिज्म आप करोगे और आप अगर आइडल वर्शिप नहीं करोगे और फॉर्मलेस गॉड को आप वर्शिप कर रहे हो मोनोथिज्म में, तो उसमें रिचुअलिज्म का स्कोप नहीं होगा। उसमें जो है वो रिचुअलिज्म का स्कोप, देयर इज नो स्कोप फॉर रिचुअलिज्म। हम्म या once again please make me yeah yeah and God is available to all, easily available to all, yeah, easily available to all, then there is no problem if you are just not doing the idol worship. Yes, you are right. It is very ironic situation and pathetic situation कि gradually even Islam, which believes in monotheism, Judaism and Christianity, all just institutionalize the religion, and Christianity developed church, Islam mosque, and Judaism synagogue, but still they are not associated with idol worship at least, but they after all partially assimilated ritualism through institutionalizing religion. It is a sad picture. Even Buddhism, which was opposed to idol worship, and Saint Buddha declared that there is neither soul nor God, but unfortunately Buddha was himself worshipped and his idol came to be worshipped. In course of time, every religion develops some sort of ritualism and distortions. But during the initial phase, कि Judaism, Christianity and Islam, they propagated monotheism, formless God, no scope for temple, no scope for idol worship. But Roman Empire was consciously promoting idol worship. Anyway, my issue is in medieval age, you have developed one institution that is called feudalism. And feudalism was all European institution because there was not organized empire, not organized state. There was a hierarchy of intermediaries, lord, baron and knight. King was there, that was the nominal head, and the king could not make direct contact with the people. In fact, the tax from the people was being collected by knight, and knight was giving some amount to baron, baron was giving some amount to king, to lord, and lord was giving some lump sum amount to king. So king was not having the economic capacity to maintain its army or its own bureaucracy. So king was depending over the army of lords. You may ask me the question, if the king was depending on the lords, why did not lords remove the king? It was due to the fact that under a king there was 10-15 lords. So lords were competing with each other. So they consciously kept the king there, because after all king was a binding force for the lords, So this hierarchy of the government, and in fact this was the hierarchy, and there was not organized state, so it was the feudalism in Europe. The second one institution was universal church system. You have raised me the question, तुमने मुझसे सवाल किया कि भाई क्रिश्चियनिटी में तो मोनोथिज्म था, फॉर्मलेस गॉड था, वो इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज क्यों हो गया? इसका जवाब मैं दे रहा हूं. जैसे जो जीसस क्राइस्ट स्वयं थे, ही वाज अपोज टू रिचुअलिज्म. रिचुअलिज्म का मतलब है कि आडंबर के खिलाफ थे. जीसस क्राइस्ट का कहना था कि हमें कोई तामझाम की जरूरत नहीं है, देयर शुड नॉट बी इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज्ड रिलीजन, एंड द रिलीजन शुड रिमेन टू बी सिंपल एंड फ्री फ्रॉम रिचुअल्स. लेकिन 8th और 9th सेंचुरी में दो सेंट्स आ गए, उनका नाम था पीटर लोम्बार्ड और टॉमस एक्विनास. अब हम उसकी चर्चा नहीं करेंगे, दैट इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू. इन्होंने प्रोपोगेट कर दिया कि नो, every Christian has to take guide from, every Christian should take guide from a priest, who is the chosen, who is the chosen person of God. Priest is the chosen person of God, and every Christian is supposed to take guide from the priest. And secondly, every Christian has to perform 7 sacraments. जैसे आप हिंदुइज्म में देखोगे 16 संस्कार है, तो क्रिश्चियन में 7 संस्कार है, 7 sacraments. So now every Christian has to perform 7 sacraments. So it is from here the medieval church system started from 8th century onwards. But once the church system started, so in fact in Europe, Rome was the headquarter of the church. Rome was the headquarter of the church, and then the different branches of the church were spread to the different regions. Rome was the headquarter of the church, and then the different branches of the church were spread to different regions. So this was called the universal church system or European church system. Our church became very powerful. Church started to influence and monopolize the social cultural life of the people, the social educational life of the people. Church used to frame educational policy. Church used to regulate the social life of European people. Church used to propagate education to the people, and church was supporting a scholastic philosophy. अब चर्च क्या बोलता था पता है कि मनन और चिंतन से ज्ञान प्राप्त किया जा सकता है. It is through meditation we can acquire the knowledge. And church started to educate the people. Church started to educate the people. There is the geocentric view of the world. पृथ्वी स्थिर है और सारे प्लैनेट्स अर्थ के चारों तरफ रिवॉल्व करते हैं. द प्लैनेट्स आर रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड द अर्थ. आज जो कोई भी इसके खिलाफ बोलता था उसको वो फांसी दे देता था, मृत्यु दंड दे देता था या पनिश कर देता था, तो लोग डर जाते थे. तो अब ये चर्च जो था वो एक तरह से चेंज का एनिमी था. तो सोच लो, अगर चर्च नहीं टूटता तो यूरोप में चेंज नहीं होता, फ्यूडलिज्म नहीं टूटता तो यूरोप में चेंज नहीं होता. चर्च है लेकिन पावरफुल नहीं है ना, आगे तो चर्च का पावर टूट गया. इस समय यह दिस वन चर्च वाज द यूनिवर्सलाइज्ड, and this was regulating the educational and social life of the people. But today you are observing the church that is the national church. It is under the umbrella of France, it is under the umbrella of Britain. And at that time the church was so powerful, it was beyond control of any institution except itself. क्योंकि organized state अभी यूरोप में नहीं है ना. Yeah. Yes, Rome was the capital of Western Roman Empire, and Constantinople was the capital of Eastern Roman Empire. Have you not gone through my study material? उसमें तो मैंने बेसिक तुम लोग का इंफॉर्मेशन दे दिया. तुम लोग पढ़ के समझ पा रहे थे कुछ? So actually Roman Empire was divided in two parts, Western Roman Empire, Eastern Roman Empire. And this capital of Western Roman Empire was Rome, and Eastern Roman Empire was Constantinople. Constantinople means, this is the point here I am just telling you, Black Sea. Yes, this is the point, Constantinople. Istanbul, presently Istanbul, it was its capital. लेकिन ये रोमन एम्पायर तो टूट गया है ना. That broke to pieces, it will continue up to 1000 more years. तो दूसरा इंस्टीट्यूशन तुम लोगों ने समझा. दो इंस्टीट्यूशन मैंने देखा है, एक फ्यूडलिज्म, ओके, द सेकेंड वन यूनिवर्सल चर्च सिस्टम, एंड चर्च वाज जस्ट अपोजिंग ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ. मैं आपको आवश्यक चीजें फिर नोट डाउन करवा दूंगा, पहले तुम समझ लो बेसिक चीजें, जैसे जो इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं आई जस्ट नोट इट डाउन. ये भाई मेरे ये सिस्टम तो मेरे क्लास में नहीं चलेगा, मोबाइल को रिसीव करना, दैट इज नॉट, आई माई सेल्फ इज नॉट रिसीविंग द मोबाइल। सिट डाउन करो, अथवा सीरियस हो यार, पढ़ने वाले हो तो फिर ढंग से पढ़ो, नहीं तो मस्ती करो। Yes, here my point is, main idea is relatively easy to know than thesis. Is thesis just an introduction or more than it? Please elaborate a little more. ये बाहर से ही क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, तुम लोगों को लिए बहुत यूजफुल हो जाएगा। आई एम रीडिंग द क्वेश्चन, यू पीपल विल जस्ट रेस्पॉन्ड टू मी। फ्रॉम द ऑनलाइन देयर इज द क्वेश्चन कि मेन आइडिया इज रिलेटिवली इजी टू नो देन thesis. Is thesis just an introduction or more than it? Please elaborate a little more. देखो, thesis इंट्रोडक्शन से अलग होता है। इंट्रोडक्शन में तो बस तुमने केवल क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट किया, थेसिस में क्या है, उसका बेसिक एसेंस तुमने लिखा। इस स्टूडेंट का ये कहना है, मान ही इज मेकिंग द क्लेम कि थेसिस इज गोइंग टू बी डिफिकल्ट देन मेन आइडिया। दैट इज वेरी नेचुरल, because in thesis you are just writing the whole essence. Of suppose you can say there is the passage, give me 1 minute. In the whole of the passage, in the first part of the passage was कि a large number of the people are involved into agriculture. A large number of people are involved into agriculture even under the British rule and till today in post-independence era. Okay. And simultaneously, in the first part of the question, they tried to establish that under the British rule, the peasants suffered a lot, and due to the British policy, the peasants were impoverished. In second part of the, you can say, passage, even under independent India, the condition of peasants hardly improved due to the faulty policy of the government. The government didn't take any practical measures, for example, not redistribution of land. The smaller farmers which were owning the small farmland, so they were not given the logistic support by the government, so they had to carry the agriculture at its own without the irrigation facilities, without the other sorts of facilities. And the third one, as there was not the development of alternative source of income, so peasants once again suffered. So peasants continuously suffered. And last but not the least, during the British rule, there was the suffering of peasants due to the growing incidence of famine. In present era, the incidence of peasant suicide has amply proved that the condition of peasants is quite poor. यही बेसिक सार है इस क्वेश्चन। तो हमने आपके थेसिस में क्या दिया? थेसिस में दिया कि agriculture remained to be the principal source of livelihood or income for the peasants, but peasants were victimized, or you can say impoverished under the British rule, and even in the era of independent India, or even in the era of independence India. ये सबका सार हो गया, क्योंकि वहां जो कंडीशन है उससे यहाँ का कंडीशन अच्छा नहीं। तो ये मैंने आपको थेसिस दे दिया, उसके बाद आप इलेबोरेट कर दीजिए। तो दिस इज द फर्स्ट वन। ग्रेजुअली तुम लोग राइट करना सीखोगे ना, जब आइडिया धीरे धीरे जब कोहेसिव होगा तो यू कैन राइट द आंसर। हाँ, बट ये ऑल इंक्लूसिव नहीं, इसका दो पार्ट बनता है थेसिस का। एक पार्ट बनता है कि एग्रीकल्चर पर डिपेंडेंस ब्रिटिश टाइम में था और इस टाइम में भी, यानी सबस्टेंशियल नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन एग्रीकल्चर में तब भी था, अब भी है वो, और उस समय भी कष्ट हुआ, इस समय भी कष्ट हुआ। तुमने लिखा कष्ट तो हुआ, लेकिन ये वहां छूट गया कि सबस्टेंशियल पॉपुलेशन था। डू यू अंडरस्टैंड माय पॉइंट? तब पहले दिन कितना सीखोगे, कम से कम 5 to 6 लिखो ना, 5 to 6, 7 लिखोगे, खुद अपना डेवलप कर लोगे। जो ही नहीं कि तुम मेरा ही नकल करो, ग्रेजुअली तुम डेवलप कर लोगे। और एक बार राइटिंग सीख जाओगे तो यू विल बी डिफरेंट पीपल। इवन आफ्टर running in the field for 4 to 5 years, the students don't know how to read and how to write. It's my personal experience. Since the last more than 30 years, I am active in this field and came across thousands and thousands of students. Even I am just using the term lakhs. So that is not exaggeration. क्योंकि अगर हम केवल प्रीवियस ईयर देखें तो 1 लाख बच्चों को तो ऑनलाइन ही मैंने पढ़ाया। तो हमने यही महसूस किया कि राइटिंग इज द कॉमन प्रॉब्लम। चारों तरफ से ये आता है, जैसे हम बिना देख रहे थे, तुमको राइटिंग में दिक्कत होती है, हाँ सब मुझे राइटिंग में दिक्कत, मतलब ये कॉमन प्रॉब्लम। घर में एनसीईआरटी बुक है तो हाँ सर मैंने 2 बार पढ़ ली है, क्वेश्चन पूछिए तो कुछ बताएगा नहीं। तो जो तुम नहीं रिप्लाई कर सकते हो तुम नहीं जानते हो। फ्यूडलिज्म रिप्लाई कर दोगे? व्हाई डिड फ्यूडलिज्म अकर? व्हाट इज द रीजन? या देखो, feudalism means decentralized administrative structure, decentralized, fragmented, stratification. So there used to be a Roman Empire, and Roman emperor was ruling with the support of bureaucracy, and he tried to maintain centralization as much as possible. But this Roman Empire disintegrated due to German invasion. Then there was the advent of the same German tribes. They were uncivilized, barbarous. They were not having the expertise in administration. They could not revive the empire again. So they preferred to rule in this region, that region, that region, that region, etc. independently. मतलब इन्होंने जो जर्मन ट्राइब्स थे उनको एक्सपर्टीज नहीं था, वो अलग अलग रीजन में रूल करने लगे और पेजेंट्स को कहने लगे कि ऐसा है कि तुम हमें टैक्स दो, हम तुम्हें सिक्योरिटी देते हैं। पेजेंट्स को भी लगा कि चलो अब रोमन एम्पायर तो रहा नहीं, तो क्यों नहीं इनसे डील कर लिया। तो कहा ठीक है हम टैक्स देंगे, आप हमें सिक्योरिटी दो। तो आप अलग अलग इधर ये चीफ हो गए, उधर वो चीफ हो गए, उधर वो चीफ हो गए। तो अब सवाल है कि एक जंगल में 100 शेर तो नहीं रहेंगे, किसी न किसी को तो उनके सबऑर्डिनेट होना ही पड़ेगा। तो आपस में फिर वॉर होना शुरू हुआ कि भाई हम बड़ा तो हम बड़ा। फिर मैट्रिमोनियल रिलेशनशिप भी हुआ, वैवाहिक संबंध। तो वैवाहिक संबंध के कारण दोस्ती भी हुई। तो दोस्ती और दुश्मनी के कारण धीरे धीरे हायरार्की बनने लगी कि ये लॉर्ड है, ड्यूक और लॉर्ड एक ही था, ये बैरन के स्टेज में है, ये नाइट के स्टेज में है। और उन सब ने ही तय किया कि लॉर्ड ने कि एक किंग भी होना चाहिए हमारे बीच। तो किंग कोई अन्य नहीं था, वो लॉर्ड में ही जो थोड़ा सुपीरियर लॉर्ड था उसको किंग का स्टेटस दे दिया। तो एक किंग भी आ गए। अब किंग डायरेक्ट नाइट से संपर्क नहीं कर सकता। किंग कुड नॉट मेक अ डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट विथ नाइट। द किंग हैड टू मेक कॉन्टैक्ट विथ लॉर्ड, lord to baron, and baron to knight. King cannot make a contact either with knight or with baron. King could not collect the tax from the people. It was the knight who was collecting the tax from the people. It was the knight who was collecting the tax from the people, and it was the knight which was giving a part of tax to the baron. You have to imagine one thing, there is the one king, and beneath the one king there must have been 10 to 15 lords. Under every lord there should have been 50 to 60 barons. Under one baron there should be 100 to 200 knights. So even if the knights is giving a meager amount of tax to the baron, so baron collects the substantial quantity of tax. Then baron is giving a part of tax to the lord. The lord was having the 50 to 60 barons. So the lords have collected the some tax, and then lord was giving a meager amount to the king. So king used to get the meager amount from 10 to 15 lords. But this amount was not sufficient कि king could have maintained its independent army or bureaucracy. So king was depending over the lord. तो उसी में मैंने तुमसे एक सवाल पूछा कि अगर king डिपेंड कर रहे हैं लॉर्ड्स के ऊपर, तो लॉर्ड्स किंग को हटा क्यों नहीं देते? तुम लोग जवाब दे पाओगे? या अच्छा, Mrityunjay said the predation of history into a Stone Age, Chalcolithic, Iron Age, Feudal stage, etc. have simultaneously in different civilizations of the world or at different times. Actually, Mrityunjay, in fact, a Stone Age, Neolithic Age, Chalcolithic Age, Iron Age, such divisions are existing in all society. But feudal age is not, because feudalization and feudal age is supposed to be European phenomena. Although some scholars even try to prove it in India, but in India feudalism has always been questioned by historians because it was lacking some European features. If it is different, then which part of the world is taken? Second question is Mrityunjay not clear. Yes. What's your answer? हाँ, मैंने कहा कि 10 to 15 लॉर्ड्स थे, आपस में कंपटीशन था. वो चाहते थे किंग एक बाइंडिंग फोर्स के रूप में रहे, किंग को नहीं हटाना चाहते थे, इसलिए किंग को बना के रखा था. ये जो फ्यूडलिज्म है वो पूरे यूरोप में ऐसे फैला हुआ था. अब एक फ्यूडल लॉर्ड है, उसकी कुछ स्टेट है, some state of one feudal lord is lying in Switzerland, some in Britain, some in France. So it was an all European institution. There was not any national boundary of the feudal lord. It was all European, you can say, institution, because one feudal lord was having a part of state in Switzerland, a part of state in France, in part of state in Britain. तो देखो ये दो इंस्टीट्यूशन है, तो समझ में आ ही गया होगा आप लोग. यूनिवर्सल चर्च सिस्टम और यूरोपियन चर्च सिस्टम इज क्लियर. The third institution is what? The third institution is Holy Roman Empire. Have you heard the name in your study matter? Holy Roman Empire. Holy Roman Empire. What is this Holy Roman Empire? I have to make you clear. Actually, there was a German tribe. इसमें नहीं रखा है. This map is missing here. There is a German tribe, I know. दूसरा मैप पीछे वाला नहीं, नहीं. In fact, after the decline of Western Roman Empire, there was a scenario I have to share with you. In fact, when there was the disintegration of Western Roman Empire, so different German tribes started to spread in the region, because different German tribes entered into the region. So there was the one important tribe whose name was Franco tribe, and Franco tribe was settled in Gaul region. This was the Franco tribe, you know. So this Franco tribe created a very powerful dynasty. नहीं, इसमें भी नहीं, इसमें भी नहीं है, छोड़. Actually, there was a Franco tribe, and Franco tribe created a very powerful dynasty that was called the Carolingian dynasty. The name of this dynasty was Carolingian dynasty. This was the Franco tribe which developed, sorry, not K, C. This dynasty was called Carolingian dynasty. जैसे suppose this is Western Roman Empire. So different tribes entered into Western Roman Empire. This was the Gaul region. Here the this Franco tribe was established in the region. Franco tribe, and it was this Franco tribe which developed a powerful dynasty that was called Carolingian dynasty. Carolingian. This was Carolingian dynasty. And founder of this dynasty was Charles Martin. So Charles Martin was a very powerful king, and it was the time there was the invasion from the army of Islam. Islamic army invaded on Europe. So Charles Martin led a Christian army and defeated Islamic army. So as Charles Martin defeated Islamic army, so definitely you can say now power and prestige of his dynasty shot up sharply. Okay. So his grandson was Charlemagne. Charlemagne could create a very big empire. This dynasty created a big empire. As it created a big empire, and a conflict between Islamic and Christian world was going on, and head of the European church system was Pope of Rome. So Pope of Rome was seeking the help from Charlemagne in his conflict against Islam. So in order to cajole, in order to satisfy, in order to appease Charlemagne, he took crown in his hand and put on himself the crown on the head of Charlemagne and declared, "You are Holy Roman Emperor." So right from this time, holy and pavitra, HOLY, holy, pavitra, Roman, it was in memory of old Roman Empire, and empire means empire, Holy Roman Empire. So in order to cajole and satisfy Charlemagne, he declared and he gave the title Holy Roman Emperor, कि आप एक पवित्र रोमन सम्राट. So right from the time, this empire was known as Holy Roman Empire. My students, here I have to inform you that Holy Roman Empire had to work earlier. This Holy Roman Empire, here I have to inform you, I am replying your question. Actually, if you will just observe here the Holy Roman Empire, you will find two things. Holy Roman Empire was basically, it was initially the Pope tried to win over the support of the empire in order to fight against Islam. But gradually, when the war with Islam was over, then Holy Roman Empire started to work as the protector of the church system in Europe. So my students, I have now come to the point. This is Europe, and there is three medieval institutions. One is feudalism, another is universal church system, and another is Holy Roman Empire. Three institutions are lying in Europe, and all the three institutions are against the change. So far as these institutions are not going to crumble, Europe could not undergo the phase of change. मतलब मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं कि पवित्र रोमन साम्राज्य कैसे बना. तो एक फ्रैंको ट्राइब था, तो फ्रैंको ट्राइब ने गॉल क्षेत्र में एक रीजन को जीत लिया, और उसी का चार्ल्स मार्टिन फाउंडर था, बहुत पावरफुल था. उसने इस्लामिक आर्मी को डिफीट किया। तो एक इस्लामिक आर्मी ने इन्वेड किया था यूरोप पर, जिसको उसने हरा दिया। एक टूट्स का बैटल हुआ था 1732 में। तो उसका पावर एंड प्रेस्टीज उसके डायनेस्टी का काफी सूट अप कर गए। तो और डायनेस्टी पावरफुल थी ही, अपना एक्सपेंशन भी किया। उसका ग्रैंडसन था शार्लमांग, उसको कंपेयर प्राय अशोका से किया जाता है, रोमिला थापर करती। तो जो शार्लमांग था, वो शार्लमांग ने बहुत नॉर्थ टू साउथ यूरोप में एक बिग एम्पायर क्रिएट किया था। तो अब जो रोम का पोप था, उसको लगता था कि अगर शार्लमांग को हम अपने फेवर में मिला लेंगे तो एक तो इस्लाम के अगेंस्ट में जो वॉर होगा उसमें ये हमारा साथ देगा, और दूसरा उसको थोड़ा सा लालच यह भी था कि इससे एक फायदा हमें यह होगा कि कल को अगर रोमन कैथोलिक चर्च सिस्टम पर कोई डेंजर होगा तो हमको प्रोटेक्ट करे। इसलिए शार्लमांग के माथे पर उसने खुद से 800 की बात है, उसने माथे पर अपना क्राउन रखकर कहा कि आप पवित्र रोमन सम्राट। सो दैट्स व्हाई कि द शार्लमांग एम्पायर केम टू बी नोन एज होली रोमन एम्पायर। अब देखो माय स्टूडेंट, तुमको समझना यह है तीनों इंस्टीट्यूशन, जैसे फ्यूडलिज्म है, तो फ्यूडलिज्म है तो किसी एक कंट्री में नहीं है, उस सब में फैला हुआ। एक फ्यूडल लॉर्ड की जागीर है, वो फ्रांस में भी है, उनका जो स्टेट है, और ब्रिटेन में भी है, स्विट्जरलैंड में भी है। और जो चर्च सिस्टम है, वो चर्च सिस्टम भी सभी डायरेक्शन में फैला हुआ है, पूरे यूरोप में चर्च है। जैसे जो लोकल चर्च है, दैट इज इम्पोजिंग टैक्स ऑन द लोकल पीपल, दैट इज कॉल्ड टाइथ, एंड द चर्च यूज्ड टू कलेक्ट द टैक्स। Part of the tax was being spent over maintaining the local church, and the rest of the amount had to be transferred to Rome. So local church was keeping Rome as its head. Local church was not going to accept any local political authority. So this was the basic problem. There are the three institutions. Church is against all sorts of change. Feudalism is against the change. Holy Roman Empire is against the change. And it was these three institutions which were creating barrier against the change in Europe. And so far as the three institutions are not going to crumble, there would be not modernization in Europe. अब आपको अगले टॉपिक में यही देखना है, जिसको मॉडर्न एज कहते हो, कि ये थ्री इंस्टीट्यूशंस कैसे ब्रेक डाउन करेगा और यूरोप का मॉडर्नाइजेशन। In the meantime, I have to inform you about one thing. This is Arabian Peninsula. This is the desert region. Different tribes were settled there. It was not fertile from agrarian point of view. So different tribes were settled here, and they were associated with trade, mercantile activities. This is Makkah and this is Medina. So merchant caravan were moving from Red Sea to Mediterranean Sea for carrying through carrying merchandise products. Prophet Muhammad was himself a petty merchant. Later in 7th century, he declared he has got some message from God. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. The God is one and Prophet Muhammad is his prophet, messenger. And then he decided to spread this religion in the region. But in the region there were different tribes, and these tribes were the idol worshippers. Different tribes were the idol worshippers. And Prophet Muhammad propagated monotheism. Here I have to inform you, even Prophet Muhammad was the same Abrahamic tradition. The first one was Abraham, the prophet of Jews, are you recalling? Second one is Jesus Christ, the prophet of Christian, and then Muhammad, he was the prophet of Islam. The literal meaning of Islam was to surrender. to submit, and Muslim means that who has submitted to the single religion. When Prophet Muhammad started to propagate his sect, his religion, he was vehemently opposed in Makkah by vested interest, who were idol worshippers. So Meccan priest class even made an attempt on his life. So in 622, he preferred to migrate from Mecca to Medina. So that is in the history of Islam that is characterized as Hijri era. It was in Medina Prophet Muhammad acquired the power. He created a state. He imposed the tax. He organized an army of his followers. And then in order to make Makkah surrender, he preferably, this is, this is Medina and this is Makkah. So merchant carva from Makkah was going across Medina. So Prophet Muhammad just started to invade the merchant caravan of Makkah. So Meccan trade came to a standstill. So now Meccan merchants were not having any choice but to make a surrender before Prophet. So they surrendered before Prophet. And then Prophet captured Makkah in 630. So Makkah and Medina, he laid the foundation of Islamic state, and Makkah and Medina were the two important regions of this Islamic state. Islam was different from other sects, because in other sects you will find the differentiation between a spiritual power and temporal power. ये spiritual power का मतलब होता है, समझते हो, आध्यात्मिक, and temporal power का मतलब होता है भौतिक, राजनीतिक. But Prophet Muhammad, in order to tackle the situation, he just amalgamated both the political power and a spiritual power into his own personality. So he was king as well as a spiritual leader. And after his death, it was caliph. उनका जो सक्सेसर था उनको खलीफा कहा गया. तो प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद का मोटे तौर पर तुम लोग समझ गए कि नहीं? ये प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद ने वहां पर एक नया सेक्ट चलाया. चूंकि वह मोनोथिज्म की बात करते थे, जो वहां के जो आइडल वर्शिपर्स थे उनको अपोज किया. उनको मदीना आना पड़ा, मदीना में पावर को एक्वायर किया, फिर मक्का को कंकर किया और पॉलिटिकल पावर स्पिरिचुअल पावर को दोनों को एक कर लिया. 632 में उनका डेथ हो गया. उसके बाद तो पहले शुरू में 4 कैलिफ आए थे, अबू बकर, उमर, उस्मान और अली. तो अब इन्होंने बल दिया कि एक्सपेंशन ऑफ इस्लाम, हमको इस्लाम को पूरी दुनिया में फैलाना है, यूनिवर्सलाइज करना है. तो खलीफा के अधीन जो इस्लाम का एक्सपेंशन होने लगा, उसी में इस्लाम ने मिस्र को, सीरिया को कंकर करते हुए, ईरान, इराक को कंकर करते हुए इस्लाम एक्सपेंड करता चला गया. सेंट्रल एशिया को कंकर किया, बाद में इंडिया को किया. तो इस्लाम क्रिएटेड अ ग्लोबल एम्पायर. इंडिया कैसे करता? इंडिया तो देखो टॉलरेंट था यहाँ का रिलीजन. इंडिया ने तो इस तरह का एक्सपेंशन चाहा ही नहीं कि हम रिलीजन के आधार पर एक्सपेंशन करें. इंडिया का हिंदुइज्म कोई कोहेसिव रिलीजन नहीं था ना. तुम कई दिनों के बाद आए हो, तुम चर्चा करते. जैसे इंडिया में जो हिंदुइज्म है वो तो कोहेसिव नहीं है ना. इंडिया में देखो अब हिंदुइज्म क्या है, व्हाट इज हिंदुइज्म. तो पहले जो अरबियन पीपल थे वो इंडस जो रिवर है उससे ईस्ट रहने वाले लोगों को हिंदू कहते थे. दे वर कॉलिंग हिंदू. द हिंदू वाज बेसिकली एन ज्योग्राफिकल आइडेंटिटी अर्लियर. इसको एक भौगोलिक पहचान कही. बाद में क्या हुआ, जब रिलीजन आया तो पहले तो वैदिक रिलीजन आया, फिर ब्राह्मणिज्म इवॉल्व किया, फिर बुद्धिज्म, जैनिज्म, आजीवक्स एंड डिफरेंट सेक्ट्स, तंत्रिसिज्म, भक्तिज्म, वेदांतिक फिलोसफी. So it was the amalgamation of sects and religion, you know. In medieval age, when there was the advent of Islam in India, in order to make a distinction with Islam, now all the sects combined together were known as Buddhism. Sorry, all the sects combined together was known as Hinduism. तो हिंदुइज्म को तो आरंभ होने की कोई तिथि नहीं, कोई एक डेट नहीं है, उसका कोई एक प्रॉफिट नहीं है. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड माय पॉइंट ऑफ? उसका कोई एक प्रॉफिट नहीं है, उसको स्टार्ट होने की कोई तिथि नहीं है, उसका कोई होली बुक नहीं। अब किसको मानोगे उसका होली बुक? वेद को मानोगे, पुराण को मानोगे, भागवत गीता को मानोगे, एपिक्स को, महाभारत रामायण को मानोगे, किसको मानो? कोई कंसेंसस तो नहीं है। तो तुम फैलाते तो फैलाते क्या? तुम खुद कोहेसिव थे। और हम लोग टॉलरेंट भी थे। तुम तंत्रिसिज्म फैलाओ, एक ही फैमिली में तू तंत्रवादी हो, मैं भक्त हूं, वो वेदांतिक है, किसी को किसी से कोई ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं। यहां तो क्रिश्चियनिटी में है, इस्लाम में है और जुडाइज्म में है, ये कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट का पालन करना होगा। अगर तुम एक मुस्लिम हो तो तुमको 5 चीजों का पालन करना होगा। नमाज पढ़ना, रोजा रखना, मक्का जाना, जानते ही हो, ज़कात अलग करना। यू हैव टू फॉलो द 5 डिसिप्लिन्स। ऐसा तो हिंदुइज्म में है नहीं। तुमको मन है तो एकादशी कर रहे हैं, इनको मन है चतुर्दशी कर रहे हैं, हम नहीं कर रहे हैं। You understand this point? तो क्या फैलाते तो? देखो, इस्लाम was a मजहबी सेक्ट. It was a slogan you have to spread it. अब you can say कि there are the 3 sects in the world which are global. Christianity, Islam, Christianity and Buddhism. But Buddhism didn't adopt any sort of coercive method for spread. Islam has adopted coercive method, means even they use the sword, and even Christianity adopted coercive method. You will just find the history of Portuguese in India. The whole of Goa was forcibly converted into Christianity. So you will find there the tradition of forceful conversion. In Buddhism, you will not find such a history. And Brahmanism could never be a global religion because it was parochial in approach. इसका approach ही बड़ा parochial था. ये एक्सपेंशन में बहुत विश्वास भी नहीं करता था. एक कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट, इसका अपना एक कुछ कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट था. ये तो डरता था ज्यादा एक्सपेंस करेगा तो हमारा पॉल्यूट हो जाए. लेकिन जो बुद्धिज्म है, रह गई सॉर्ड की बात, इस्लाम का स्पिरिट केवल सॉर्ड के कारण नहीं हुआ. इस्लाम का है कि द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मिल्लत, मुस्लिम मिल्लत, मुस्लिम मिल्लत और अवाम. इट मीन्स कि इफ यू आर गोइंग टू ज्वाइन इस्लाम, you will be inducted into Islamic society, Muslim society on equal footing. So Islam promised equality for all. In Hinduism, you will find there the caste system, caste division. Some were not allowed even go to temples. तो हम लोगों का एक बहुत बड़े फीचर है हिंदुइज्म का, वो है टॉलरेंस. एक बहुत बड़ा लैकुना है, वो है कास्ट सिस्टम. जैसे जंगल में मोर नाचते हैं तो बड़ा खुश होते हैं जब देखते हैं आकाश में क्लाउड छा गए, लेकिन जब उनकी नजर जब अपने कुरूप पैरों पर पड़ती है तो लज्जित हो जाते हैं. वही हम हिंदुओं को अपने कास्ट सिस्टम के लिए लज्जित होना पड़ता है. समझ रहे हो ना? यही सब देखो, बेसिक फाउंडेशन में ये सब चीज की क्लैरिटी तुमको होनी चाहिए. यू कैन आस्क मी द क्वेश्चन, नो प्रॉब्लम. फिर तुझे कहे कि सर माय डाउट वाज whether these ages started at similar times or there was time gap between the starts of these ages in different parts of the world. जैसे अब पैलोलिथिक, नियोलिथिक, मेजोलिथिक, कैलकोलिथिक, ये सब एज है, उसका स्टार्टिंग अलग अलग टाइम में अलग अलग हुआ है दुनिया में। अब देखो ना, हमारे यहाँ न्यूलिथिक 6000 BC से स्टार्ट हुआ, बट इन वेस्ट एशिया इट स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम 9000 BC ऑनवर्ड्स. In West Asia was the leading region from the viewpoint of agriculture, and then agriculture developed in our region a bit later. So there was not uniformity of time period. If there is time gap, which part of the world is taken as base for others and why? Actually, West Asia is supposed to have a leading region from the viewpoint of domestication of animals and agriculture, but it does not mean कि we have imitated or borrowed from West Asia. जैसे पहले कॉन्सेप्ट था डिफ्यूजनिस्ट थियरी कि एक रीजन में पहले डेवलप होता है, दूसरे में डिफ्यूज करके जाता है. अब वो कॉन्सेप्ट रिजेक्ट हो गया. हमने एग्रीकल्चर इंडिपेंडेंटली डेवलप किया, हालांकि वेस्ट एशिया के बाद में किया. सो दिस इज द केस. तो अब इस्लाम ने पूरे वर्ल्ड में एक्सपेंशन करना शुरू किया. इंडिया वाज कंकर्ड ऑल द रीजन्स, बट यूरोप fought several battles against Islam, and that is called crusades. So Europe saved themselves from the invasion of Islam, from the conquest of Islam till 15th century. And Islam became powerful due to the advent of Turks and Mongols. Earlier the Islam was accepted by whom? Arabian people. Earlier Islam was accepted by Arabian people, but later Turks and Mughals, Mongols all joined it. So there was a branch of Ottoman Turks who invaded on Eastern Roman Empire. So far you find here, this is Eastern Roman Empire. Western Roman Empire was so separate. This is Holy Roman Empire. This is Holy Roman Empire, the Empire of Solomon. This is Eastern Roman Empire. So an Ottoman Turks invaded Eastern Roman Empire and captured its capital, that is called Constantinople. This is Constantinople in 1453. So this is known in history as the decline of Constantinople. And the decline of Constantinople means that you can say all sorts of communication between Eastern world and West was just broken, snapped here. तो पहले मैं थोड़ा सा तुम लोगों को नोट डाउन अब करवा देता हूं, फिर आगे बढ़ूंगा, नहीं तो दिमाग में कंफ्यूज है. Both are the same. Actually, Turks was a race and it was having the different sub tribes and sub branches. So one was the Ottoman Turks. Ottoman Turks belong to the branch, you know. Just 1 minute, I'm coming. So now just start to write the central idea first. Just give the heading ancient world. Sorry, ancient Europe. Ancient Europe, not world. Ancient Europe. Ancient Europe. I've just write down political. Give heading political condition. Political condition. Just write down during early Christian centuries, early Christian century means first century, second century. Early Christian centuries, there was a flourishing empire in Europe. There was a flourishing empire, in Europe. It was Roman Empire. It was Roman Empire. It was Roman Empire. Roman Empire. This empire expanded from western. This empire expanded from southwestern Europe. Expanded from southwestern Europe to West Asia, and it also captured a part of India. Sorry, it also captured a part of North Africa. It also captured a part of North Africa. North Africa. Part of North Africa. So it became too much formidable in size. It became too much formidable in size. Too much formidable in size. That's why in 3rd century CE, CE means common era. In 3rd century CE and common era, do you understand common era? Matlab AD, in place earlier AD and Anno Domini, now CE. In 3rd century CE, it was divided in two parts: Western Roman Empire, and Eastern Roman Empire. Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. Eastern Roman Empire. Eastern Roman Empire. Do you understand? Actually, another name for Eastern Roman Empire is Byzantine Empire. What is the name? Byzantine Empire. Both are the same. Byzantine Empire. The capital of Western Roman Empire. The capital of Western Roman Empire. The capital of Western Roman Empire was Rome. And that of Eastern Roman Empire was Constantinople. Later, due to German invasion from north, later, German invasion from north, Western Roman Empire disintegrated. But Eastern Roman Empire had continued for 1000 years more. For 1000 years more. Now just write economic condition. Economic condition. After break, economic condition. लिखिए हाँ, लिखिए हाँ. The economy in Europe. The economy in Europe was in flourishing condition. In flourishing condition. In flourishing condition. In flourishing condition as Roman Empire maintained better agricultural condition apart from that it was having the control over important trade routes. So economy progressed further. And trade and towns developed. Just write down religion. लिखिए हाँ. Christianity became prevailing cult in Europe. Christianity became prevailing cult in Europe. Prevailing cult in Europe. Prevailing cult in Europe. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was crucified. Jesus Christ was crucified by Roman Empire. Jesus Christ was crucified by Roman Empire. But later, a Roman king Constantine accepted Christianity in first century CE. CE मतलब वही AD. And from 4th century CE Christianity became the state religion of Roman Empire. Christianity became a state religion of Roman Empire. A state religion of Roman Empire. Roman Empire. Earlier Christianity was simple. Earlier Christianity was simple and free from rituals. फ्री फ्रॉम रिचुअल्स. रिचुअल समझते हो आप लोग? आडंबर, आडंबर क्या बोलते हो उसको? हाँ हाँ, वो कर्मकांड, रिचुअल्स, अनुष्ठान. एग्जैक्ट हिंदी अनुष्ठान. इट वाज फ्री फ्रॉम रिचुअल्स. ओके, अब जस्ट राइट डाउन नीचे आफ्टर ब्रेक. मेडिएवल यूरोप. Medieval Europe. Just write down. Just write down. Just write down political condition. Political condition. Two empires existed at that time in Europe. Two empires existed at that time in Europe. In Europe, one was Eastern Roman Empire. One was Eastern Roman Empire, and another was Holy Roman Empire. Holy Roman Empire. Holy Roman Empire, which had earlier participated in crusades. crusades का मतलब है इस्लाम के साथ वॉर में. crusades, which had earlier participated in crusades. crusades मतलब इस्लाम के साथ, इस्लाम और क्रिश्चियनिटी में जो वॉर हुआ है ना, उसको crusades बोलते हैं. crusades कहते हैं धर्म युद्ध को. धर्म युद्ध, crusades. And later it emerged to be the protector of Roman Catholic Church system. Roman Catholic Church system. Now with a change of paragraph. With a change of paragraph. After the decline of Western Roman Empire, trade and towns declined. And there emerged a system known as feudalism. Feudalism. It was based on a hierarchy. It was based on a hierarchy. Based on a hierarchy. Hierarchy. Hierarchy such as make the diagram: king, lord, baron, knight. KNIGST, knight. रात वाली नाइट नहीं, वॉरियर वाला नाइट, KNIGST. Okay. King, lord, baron and knight. Then write religion. Up to medieval age, Christianity lost its earlier simplicity. Christianity lost its earlier simplicity. Christianity lost its earlier simplicity. And there emerged a universal church system. A universal church system. A universal church system. A universal church system. In this system, Rome was the headquarter. Rome was the headquarter. And local church was established. In different parts of Europe. Local church was established in different parts of Europe. Local church was established in different parts of Europe. Different parts of Europe. Different parts of Europe. This the local church accepted the headship of Rome. And it denied any sort of local political authority. It denied any sort of local political authority. Local political authority. Church was having the control over. Church was having the control over. Having the control over Christian society. Having the control over Christian society and European education. European education. European education system. European education system. Now with the change of paragraph. In this way, up to medieval age, three medieval institutions institutions such as feudalism, European church system, and Holy Roman Empire, European church system and Holy Roman Empire came into existence and they were opposed to all sorts of change. They were opposed to all sorts of change. Now with the change of paragraph. Therefore, if Europe had to move to modern age, the disintegration of the three institutions, was a prerequisite मतलब देखो यहीं पर आकर हम रुक गए। आपको यहां पर यह कहा जा रहा है कि 3 मेडिवल इंस्टीट्यूशंस पैदा हो गया एक्सीडेंटली, होली रोमन एम्पायर, फ्यूडलिज्म एंड यूरोपियन चर्च सिस्टम, और ये तीनों एनिमी थे चेंज। यूरोप पूरी दुनिया से पीछे चल रहा। अब अगर यूरोप को मॉडर्नाइजेशन की ओर जाना था तो इन तीनों इंस्टीट्यूशंस को टूटना अनिवार्य था, नहीं तो नहीं। अब यू हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम मॉडर्न एज and you will find in modern age ki how did all the three institutions crumble in course of time and what was the factor behind their decline. Thus started modern age. So you people have to make a study of modern part. 5 pages and मैं पूरा नहीं कर पाया, मॉडर्न कल लग जाएगा आपको समझाने में। तो आप इसमें भी वही कोशिश करना। कल मैं आपको राइटिंग सिखाऊंगा और अब कल ये कोशिश करना, यू विल ट्राई एट योर बेस्ट कि आप इसको पढ़ने के क्रम में सेंट्रल आइडिया पकड़ सको। मैंने नॉर्मल एक आदत डालो, चाहे न्यूज़पेपर के आर्टिकल्स में जितना ही समझ सको सेंट्रल आइडिया पकड़ सको, थेसिस खींचने की कोशिश करो, है ना। सब्सिडियरी आइडिया, आज से तुम लोगों का इस डायरेक्शन में काम शुरू हो जाना चाहिए और हम डेली बेसिस पर आपको रीडिंग राइटिंग कवर करेंगे। कल भी मैं एक पैसेज लाऊंगा जो आप लोगों को दे दूंगा, यू विल ट्राई दैट पैसेज, ओके। व्हाट? स्टेट हाँ हाँ हाँ, let actually in fact Constantine just tried to make a correction of the mistakes committed by the earlier kings. Up to the period of Constantine, the this Christianity was spreading in Europe so fastly. and it came to enjoy such a wider popular support, the Roman Empire could not dare to keep itself away for a longer time. So Roman Empire was compelled to accept Christianity up to early Christian centuries. इसका मतलब अब एटीट्यूड बदल गया क्रिश्चियनिटी के प्रति, क्योंकि पॉपुलर सपोर्ट बहुत ज्यादा था, इसको भी तो सरवाइव करना था ना. तो नवदीप गुजरा, व्हेन विल आरपी सिंह सर क्लासेस बिगिन? वो बिगिन होगा जैसे मंडे, ट्यूसडे, वेडनेसडे, तुम्हारा कहते हैं थर्सडे, फ्राइडे, सैटरडे कल मेरा, देन मंडे, ट्यूसडे and Thursday, that will be basic polity, advanced polity by RP sir. My students, tomorrow I'll just attend your class and then modern age, and I'll just impart you the method of writing as well. And tomorrow I'll just dictate to you about the writing. Okay. So from 11:30 the advance, you can say the same world history will start. You people have to wait. Okay. Up to 11:30, take a cup of tea and then come again. Okay, I'll see you. Thank you.